study store where it's all about stories from around the world. Did you see that one when I was walking around the earth? That's what my channel is about. Today Uncle Cat is going to tell me a story from South Africa. I hope you enjoy.
Hey Starr, how you doing? My name is Katleho, but most of my friends call me Cat. And today I'm going to tell you a story from the beautiful country of South Africa. Many years ago, before we had cars and planes, people would travel by ship. And there was this little boy who lived in the country of England, in a city called London. Sitsapo unfortunately did not have any parents, and Tsapo and his friends lived on the streets of London. They would go around asking people for food and money in order to be able to eat. But the thing that they did the most was run down to a place called the dockside. See, the dockside was where ships would come in from all over the world. And most of the kids would ask everyone as they were coming down the ship, "Sir, please, would you give a little boy some food or some money?" But Tsapo, being the youngest of all of the kids, he was probably 4 or 5 years old. He would look for the captain of the ship because he knew the captain was rich most of the time. And so as the kids were looking for someone to give them money, Tsapo would look out, and eventually he saw this dark, big black man with a patch on his eye walking down. And he realized that must be the captain. There's just something about this captain, right? That told him that this must be the man that I need to talk to. So Tsapo ran down and he saw the captain. He said, "Sir, please would you give a little boy some money or some food? I'm hungry." The captain looked down with his one eye. "Little boy, what are you doing here? A black boy here in this white country?" And Tsapo said, "I came here years ago. My mommy and we were taken from the African continent. I'm told that I was a baby and my mommy died on the ship, and they tried to sell me to some family here. I don't know how I landed on the street." And the captain, as big as he was, had one tear coming down his cheek because he was moved by this story of Tsapo. See, the captain traveled all around the world, and he had a huge ship, and he had a big house. He was a very wealthy man. And that day, the captain didn't give Tsapo money or food. You know what he did? He took Tsapo home in the city of London. And Tsapo no longer had to be a street kid. He lived in this huge mansion with servants who took care of him. He had his own bedroom, his own bed. And for many months, the captain kept Tsapo as his own son. And they lived happily. And then one day, the captain was having a conversation with some people in the living room. And Tsapo was listening to the conversation. And the captain said, "I have to go back to my continent in Africa." And Tsapo started thinking, what if he doesn't come back again? And then I have to go back to the streets. And he thought, I have to go. I have to go with the captain. Because if he doesn't come back, I'll be poor again. And so the next day, the captain came to Tsapo's room, hugged him and kissed him and said, "I'll see you very soon, okay? I will be back." Tsapo didn't trust the captain. So what he did, he climbed through the window of the house and he ran down to the dockside. And they used to have these big barrels, these wooden barrels. Tsapo got inside one of the barrels and he closed it. And the men picked up the barrel and placed it on the ship. And Tsapo just waited until he had some movement. And eventually, the ship took off. And for weeks, Tsapo was in that barrel. Sometimes he would get a cramp. Sometimes he would have to get out and pee and drink some water. He would come out at night when most of the men were asleep. And one day, something happened. There was a storm at sea. And the waves and the ocean was just really wild. They did their best to control the ship, but they started sinking. And Tsapo thought, there's something strange. Why is everything moving so fast? And he said, I need to see what's happening. Tsapo took off the lid and looked around, and it was just dark. And he went at the top of the ship to go see what was happening. And when he got there, he saw that there was no one, except he saw a silhouette. He saw someone who was about to go over the ship. And he realized that was the captain. And he screamed, "Wait for me! Wait for me!" And the captain thought, "Is there someone here?" And when he was about to take his other leg over, Tsepo said, "Wait for me, please!" And the captain looked back. The captain said, "What? Tsepo, what are you doing here?" And the ship was sinking. Starr, the ship was sinking. And the captain said, "What are you doing?" The men down in the boat were saying, "Captain, come, we're gonna die. Please hurry up." And the captain said, "I have someone here." And he took Tsepo, his strong arms, and he put him, and Tsepo climbed down into the boat. But you see, there was a problem. There was only one more place in the boat. It was either the captain or Tsepo. But because the captain loved Tsepo so much, he allowed the boat to sail away. And you know what happened, unfortunately? The ship sank with the captain. Now I know this is a sad story, but I want to tell you, there's someone who did the very same thing for us. His name is King Jesus. When we were supposed to die, Jesus came and he died for each and every one of us. He took our sins. Even though we made a mess and messed up, Jesus said, "I will take your place." And that's our story today. Thank you very much. Bye, Starr.
Do you love that story? Certainly did. Thanks, Uncle Cat. You did well. Stay tuned for more stories with the Starr.